Welcome, everyone, to another episode of the NYC Godcast. We are so excited to be live. I believe this is our first ever live episode, if I'm correct. So, we're welcoming everyone out. Hope you're all having a great Sunday. We really just wanted to take some time to sort of look back at the past year, kind of talk about some of our favorite moments and memories over the past year. And I think we're going to reveal the theme for our December podcast. Yep. I feel like we're partners, James. Like, I don't know who these people are over here, but
I feel like we're gonna play a game.
I know. I feel like we need buzzers.
I feel like I'm up by myself.
Yeah. There's CJ between us. Yeah. Rachel's being segregated. But we're gonna reveal the theme for we're done with November.
Done with
December's podcast, and then I think possibly we're going to give some hints about what's coming next year for the NYC and some exciting things that are going on there. So welcome everyone out. Make sure to comment and like below, share, interact. We'd love to have you chime in and join us because we are taking your comments live. So hoping this will be a two-sided discussion. If anyone joins us.
Hello out there. Anybody?
So while we're waiting on folks to join in, by the way, CJ's here.
Hey.
As you can see, he is thrilled. He is thrilled. So we have a little wager going on.
Yeah.
Whoever gets CJ to, hi Bessie, hi Renee. Whoever first gets CJ to laugh or smile gets free coffee. So, and that could be in the comments. Maybe we'll send you coffee. So make sure to make CJ laugh. That's the challenge for today. But we're glad he's here. He is a huge part of the podcast, usually behind the scenes, but now he's doing his behind the scenes in front of the screen. So it's a little awkward.
Hi, CJ. Just to you.
Look
at that.
CJ has a fan.
He's usually the one that's laughing behind the scenes at our stupidity.
At our expense. So while we're waiting on folks to join in, the first thing is December.
Yep.
It's December. It's Christmas. So let's talk a little bit about Christmas. So,
All right.
what?
Thanks, Bessie. I appreciate it.
You have to try harder
Bessie
than
said,
that. Bessie, try
CJ,
harder
you look
than
so
that.
cute.
So, what are you guys excited for about Christmas? Like, what about December are you excited about?
I just like I like being together with all the family and eating way more than we should.
That's like such the adult answer.
It is.
It's kind of
I'm
boring.
not an adult. I want to have gifts. I don't know. What do you want from me?
Presents.
Honestly, I think it's just more of like the homey, comforting time of the year. Like, do you know what I mean? Like you're watching
cozy.
your Christmas movies. It's sweater
Christmas
time.
sweaters.
Christmas sweaters. It's like time to be cozy and warm in your own home. That's my favorite, I think.
That's you. He's looking at you.
That's you, CJ. What's your favorite part of Christmas?
You can talk. You have a mic.
Chocolate pie.
That's
You know what?
oddly specific. Do you guys have chocolate pie at Christmas?
Yeah.
Do you really?
Where?
Every year.
Where?
I hope.
Every year.
Where?
You can always hope.
Why?
Like when we had Christmas at our house, yeah.
I don't remember there being chocolate pie.
Odd.
I ate like
Like when we
4
go
or 5
to
pieces at your
dad's
grandma's
side of the
house, so-
family, like we have.
Christmas chocolate pie. Yeah, there's worse things to eat. I
We've
suppose.
also had chocolate peppermint, but I don't know. You don't like
no
chocolate
peppermint. Listen, chocolate and peppermint is brushing your teeth and eating a Hershey bar. It's disgusting. You never mix the two. So, what's you guys' favorite thing about the Christmas season?
Not snow. I'll tell you that much. Not snow.
That hurts.
Such an adult answer, Jamie.
I hate the snow. No, I think that I like the Christmas lights. I like walking around or like
Walking.
walking
Is that like when you're making Asian food in a pan?
yes. around my town like this.
No, nothing.
No.
Harder, James. Try harder.
So walking around and seeing
She's
Christmas
like a-
lights.
Does she have an accent all of a sudden? Walking around.
Is that not how I talk?
Walking.
Walking.
Walking. Walking? How do you say
I
it?
think walking is like when
Walking-
you smack people with a
I
walk.
know. I've envisioned this big round pan and you're walking around like
Hold on,
it's a
guys.
smile.
Walking.
It's close.
How do you say walking?
Walking.
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 Yeah, what's wrong with you?
Walking.
Walking. She also says
Okay,
audio.
did you
So,
have a
hold
point
on,
to your
hold on.
walking story?
Walking.
Now you're like Canadian or something. I don't know.
Hey?
But seeing Christmas lights, driving around, seeing everybody's houses, all that kind of stuff.
You're looking at me, or CJ?
Chocolate pie still?
Let's just keep chocolate pie. That's good.
He's going to bring a lot to the table.
Chocolate
Me and
pie.
Jamie have this covered if you two are...
We're good over here.
So what this is a fun one. We'd love to hear your comments. So you're welcome to chime in with this question. I mean, any of the questions really, but this one. What is the worst gift you've ever received for Christmas? Chocolate pie.
Ooh. Chocolate pie.
Been wrapped for a while.
Guess what he's getting this year?
I'm gonna need a minute. Scrolling back through the index of gifts.
See, that's my problem. I can't remember last
I know.
Christmas.
I don't think I ever got like a horrible
Oh,
gift.
you just wait.
I don't even remember
Yes.
who gave it to me, but I think the worst gift I've ever gotten was a like candle that smelled really bad. Like it's like one of those things you're like, oh, this is great,
It's lovely.
thank you.
Yeah.
And that's going in the garbage.
Garbage candles.
Yes.
Worst gifts?
Good.
Maybe it's from each other. Maybe that'd be awkward.
Yeah, I was like, maybe I don't want to sit right now. It'd be awkward. I can't
How
think of it.
The
embarrassing.
person's at
A
the
terrible
table.
revelation.
I don't know. I have gotten like smelly things like lotions and stuff that were
Yeah.
horrible smell, but
Yeah.
I don't. I mean, you
So is it
re-gift
funny?
it.
Like, so we are old now, guys.
Yes, you are.
Because
Only you.
like, it used to be growing up, like getting socks was like the most boring gift.
Oh
love
yeah,
when I
and
And
then
now
now
it's like,
it's
oh my goodness, thank goodness.
somebody got me some
Thank
socks.
goodness all 10 of my toes are sticking out on my heel. Like I'm just wearing a little like Band-Aid sock that's not covering anything. So like socks are exciting now.
I like
Yes.
Or like bed sheets.
Oh yeah,
good.
because they're expensive.
They are.
They're expensive.
They are. Like those boring gifts are now like the best gifts.
That's what me and Jay were just having that conversation. Like you enter adulthood when like you put things on your list when you first get married that like you
Right.
want, but you don't want that to be your Christmas gift.
Right.
Now like I actually want that stuff.
Yeah.
Like give me
Yeah.
kitchen
Like,
things.
I
Like I
feel
want
like-
Towels.
Yay!
Towels. What,
Towels.
Are you okay over there? She's walking with her towels.
I'm having a stronk. It's fine.
What?
I have no idea. It's a meme.
Okay. I thought you were trying to say
The bomb
stroke.
ones.
And you're like,
Yeah, it is.
okay. So
It's a
I'm,
meme.
It's not funny.
the bomb ones.
So I knew I was old when I officially put a vacuum cleaner on my Christmas list this year.
We seen and
I
like
was-
half your grocery list was on there. All
What?
those syrups and stuff that you put.
Oh
on
yeah,
there.
you did.
Iced
Seriously.
coffee.
I
I know.
know what
So
they're
it's still
for.
your
Yes.
grocery
I worked at the coffee shop over the past several months, and I fell in love with coffee. And it's too expensive to go buy iced coffee every day. So I'm like, if I can make it at home, and
That's
Amazon
true.
sells the syrup.
It's true.
Only I don't have an ice maker, so it'd just be coffee.
I was gonna say.
It would just be
What do you do
old
for
It
ice?
would just be old coffee.
What do you guys do for?
We don't have ice.
You know you can get trays that go in your freezer and make ice.
There's
What?
water that comes out of the tap every day.
I'm gonna get a vacuum and a ice tray.
We'll all go together and get
Yeah.
it for you.
An ice tray.
99
Everyone
cent
chip
one.
in. Yeah. So you've already cheated, but what's your favorite Christmas treat? So like food treat
Yeah. I was waiting.
besides chocolate
I was waiting
pie.
for CJ
Besides
to say chocolate pie.
Who's he looking at? I can't tell.
Anyone?
He's looking at me.
Anyone.
I like Buckeyes.
Those are good.
Yeah.
My favorite are sour cream cutout cookies.
That would be Jenny's answer too.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody online favorites? Maybe
Anything?
you're still talking. Maybe you're still thinking about your worst gifts or your favorite Christmas treat.
Mm.
Jamie, you already knew the question. We already
I
said
know.
it once, right?
I know.
She's
No,
like,
I
oh,
was,
all over again. I'm
no, I'm
perplexed.
thinking about the cookies that I want.
I called you Cookie. CJ, also known as Cookie. Cookie J.
Cookie J.
Cookie J. Jamie, Gussy's with you. She
Oh,
likes the
yeah.
sour cream cookies too.
We got
Rachel's here for the laughter. Some like when they do like live studio audiences, they like have the fake laugh track. We just bring
That's
Rachel. She's
Yeah.
our she's
We
our
have
real laugh
somebody
track.
holding up an applause sign
Yeah.
in the back.
I'm the applause, but it doesn't work out.
Sad. Favorite Christmas treats besides chocolate pie?
I don't know if there's a food CJ's ever said no to.
There's not really much that I wouldn't say no to.
But he
so.
doesn't love treats. Like he's not a big treat fan.
Okay,
Not
well,
really.
food. It can be food. It doesn't have to be
No,
treats.
you said
I
treats.
don't know. We always have
You
like
don't get
cheese ball and stuff.
I
That's
said you
good.
don't get cheeseburger for Christmas.
Cheese
so-
ball is good.
Cheese ball.
Cheese ball.
Cheese
Yeah.
ball's good.
Turkey, chicken.
Turkey chicken.
I
Yep.
love my grandma's turkey and gravy. We have it Thanksgiving and Christmas, but me and Jenny were talking about that. Like we have so many Christmases and Thanksgivings that we get the same meal
Yeah.
over and over and over and over. But my grandma's like, I just dream about. Let's just take a moment.
Tina says 7-layer cookies.
Ooh, yes, Tina.
Ooh, yeah.
Those I do
Yeah.
associate
Mom
with
said,
Yes.
Mom
Christmas.
said that too.
I
Yeah.
didn't see
Oh,
that.
did she? Yeah. Christmas
Oh,
tree,
okay.
Buckeyes,
Yeah.
7-layer
Yeah.
cookies.
Her
Yeah.
thing is right. It's right in
Yeah.
the thing, so I couldn't see it.
I don't even care for 7-layer cookies. Like I don't
Yeah.
like butterscotch.
But you
and
have
I
to
don't
have
like
one.
coconut. But yeah, it's Christmas. Like
You have
that's
to.
like
I actually
what
like them.
you what?
I like them.
You do? Okay. I'm like, who said that?
I know. I keep
Rachel's like
saying things
invisible
and
today.
no one's hearing me, so I feel like I'm just on my own little show.
So keep chiming in. We'd love to hear your favorite treats or worst gifts or
Mhm.
anything else about Christmas.
Yeah.
We love Christmas around here.
Yes.
Christmas is the most wonderful time of the year. So as you guys know, each month we do a new Godcast series. It's been pretty fun this year. Like this has been our first year doing series. I've enjoyed it. I don't know if anyone else has. But this month, of course, we're starting December, and so we are starting a new series. And obviously, Christmas is sort of a big deal And so we're going to do a December series. So this month, we're going to be taking a look at the most unbelievable part of Christmas. The most surprising, shocking, breathtaking, blow your mind, can't even believe it part of Christmas.
Yep.
Dun, 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 dun. I would ask for a drum roll, but CJ will murder us.
We could do a little one.
Can we do a drum snap?
You can't snap correctly.
He snaps
Point
with his
me
third.
out.
He snaps with his third finger. Like
This is not the time, ladies.
I can't even.
I don't know why. I don't.
I snap
so
with
how do
both my thumbs.
did you just snap your
Wow,
thumbs?
you kind of did that. That was.
No, not really.
Now they're just popping.
Do you guys realize that snapping is the sound of it hitting your thumb?
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it makes the noise.
It's the sound of your
before it
ring
hits my
finger
thumb.
hitting your palm.
That's because you snap with the wrong finger.
Well, so it can't be that noise if I can
Or
do
your
it
middle
without.
finger.
Fine though. See?
What's hitting your
All right, everyone at home, try snapping. See what in the world's making that noise? I think that may have been a chuckle. I may get free coffee.
You make it freak.
It was close.
There's
It
free
was
coffee out back.
Yeah, that's the coffee
So
you're gonna
This is
get.
the lamest wager ever. You guys are distracted.
You
we
came
know.
up with it?
Yeah.
I know. So, anyways, the most unbelievable part of Christmas. Guesses?
Try not to look at the thing.
I think Renee's right, though. Says you guys are distracted easily.
Bessie's snapping.
Bessie snapping.
Oh, snap.
Yeah.
So, the most unbelievable part of Christmas this month, December, for the Godcast, we're going to take a look at a baby born in Bethlehem. So, this is the surreal reality. This is a really, it's almost funny thought, but it's also like mind-blowing thought. Do we get that God was actually a legit baby?
Mm-hmm.
Like, hello, did we catch that out of the Christmas story?
Yeah.
Here in America, Christmas is kind of a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
We do a lot here in America about Christmas, but I think a lot of times we sort of polish up Christmas so much that it makes it's too prim and pretty and proper.
Yes.
We have the Christmas lights here. Talk about that. We have the Christmas trees.
Yep.
We have bows and holly and tinsel and all the silver and gold. But Christmas, or at least the day that Jesus was born, was actually messy and smelly and gross.
Yeah.
So I'm not suggesting we tear down all the Christmas trees off our church stages and put manure, but that would be more realistic to the first Christmas.
The biblical.
But can you just catch this? Can you imagine the very first smells that God would have smelled as a man?
Yeah. Donkey poop.
Beep. And the first thing that God in flesh would have ever laid eyes on could have been the derriere of a stinky donkey. The first sounds he might have heard might have been barnyard chaos.
Yeah.
God experiencing being a man. And the thing is, Christmas was never meant to be pretty, even though we've made it pretty. But beyond all of that, can we just stop for a minute and appreciate that God, we're talking God, like let there be, boom, God was an actual, literal, for real baby.
Yeah.
Baby. Like with diapers and crying, and he did baby things. Like God was a baby. And God had grasped this. God had to be carried. You guys are welcome to join me.
I'm shaking
You
my
and Jamer
head.
have a
I'm like,
conversation.
I'm not a parent here.
I know. You don't even know what a baby is.
Never seen one a day in my life.
Why is that little human so noisy? God had to be carried in someone's arms. God couldn't walk for himself. God was a baby. He couldn't feed himself. He put on skin, and he was born in the most humbling and the most humiliating state that a person can find themselves in. God was totally dependent and desperate for the cares of others.
Yeah.
And so this is the irony of Christmas. This holiday, this holiday season that we all so love, should first and foremost be about humility. Is that odd to anybody else? Like we fill Christmas with joy and peace and triumphant, right? Yeah. We have all these words that we describe Christmas at, but do we realize, according to the first Christmas, according to the birth of Jesus, God in flesh, Christmas is actually all about humility.
Yeah.
I mean, for most of us, this is a month where it's all about me, right? Rachel already told us she is all about winning gifts. But it's all about us, right? I'm just kidding.
And even like people asking you for things.
Yeah.
So like you have to focus on you because people are asking you what your Christmas list is.
And
people are forcing you to think about yourself.
Right, exactly. And then like even our houses, like I don't know how you guys are. Like I don't care, But like everyone else starts decorating their house. Like have you seen the Grinch scene where the lady's decorating their houses and she goes starts stealing the chandelier lights and all the lights she can find, starts putting them up. Like we want to
make things look
be noticed. Yeah, like point to ourselves.
We want to be the good house.
Our tree and our house and the gifts and the. We've made Christmas all about us, and that's exactly the opposite of what the original Christmas, like what Christmas is supposed to be about. Christmas is about humility. Bessie says it's hard to imagine Jesus as dependable on humans. And so that's what I'm trying to get across. I'm doing a poor job. Per podcast usual. But that's what I'm trying to get across is, do we get that God allowed himself to be dependent? He humbled himself to a state of dependency.
Because I mean, and honestly, he has all power. So he could have came in as an adult.
Yeah. Imagine God could have been like perfectly baby sized, but could walk and talk and
boss baby.
Yeah. Like he literally could have taken care of himself, but he allowed himself.
Or been born, not in
born a full size human.
Or no, like in like I was say like in like a house. Or like somewhere
like not stable.
Sure, right.
Like he could have been in one of the nice houses with the Christmas lights.
Right, or the inn even. He could have made a room appear out of nowhere. Like God could have done a lot of things, and yet he chose to be born in the most humiliating and the most humble and the most dependent and desperate state a human finds themselves in. And what does he do by doing that? He's saying, listen, humble yourself. Humble yourself. Don't make this about you. And so the original Christmas, God was a baby. He humbled himself to the lowest state possible. And so I'm excited for this series. Like to me, that is a mind-blowing thought. I think we may have a special surprise this month, possibly with a special guest, little guest. We decorate with lights, etc., to celebrate Jesus's birthday, like one of our children. All the stuff, or fluff, all the fluff. And I would agree with that. Like I do agree that the reason... It's kind of funny. I was on my way home last night. I was sort of conscious a little bit. And I passed a house and it had like the star with like the strings that come down. So it looks like a shooting star. And literally my thought was, I wonder if that, like I see that and I think of Jesus because of the star part of the story. And so the thought I literally had was, I wonder if those people put that up intending to point to Jesus. And for the Christian, I guess that's kind of my point. For the Christian, it's not saying we need to strip Christmas. Oh no! Hands in front of you. It's not saying that you need to strip Christmas down to manure and hay bales. It's saying that everything you do Christmassy should be celebrating the birth of Jesus because it's all about him and it's not about us.
Well, it's just the same thing as everything else in our lives. We do things. Is it wrong for us to want to take a vacation? Is it wrong for us to do these things? No, it's not. But if that's the only thing you're looking forward to, you're not putting Jesus in the forefront of your life and you're just trying to make these things up to please yourself, it's the same thing.
Right. So here's the other thought. What do you think about this? So Jesus was willing, God in flesh was willing to humble himself and depend on other people. Are we?
No.
And with that, let's go to our next topic. But isn't that the truth?
Yes.
Like I'm probably most at this table. I do not like asking for help. I do not like being dependent on anybody. Like even God, right? We don't even like to be dependent on him. That's kind of what this whole Christianity thing's about. But even other people, like we don't like to be dependent on other people. We don't like to rely on them.
We always have a backup plan.
We're
always like,
we always have to be in control.
Whoops.
Whoops. But if God was willing to be humble and God was willing to be dependent, shouldn't we?
I mean, even of all the positions you could be put in, that's the most dependable you need to be in. Like as a baby, to be dependent on the only thing you'd be done is like your parents. So being put in that situation.
And that's what that is literally the most dependent you can ever be in everything. Like literally a baby can do nothing for itself at all. And so I don't know. To me, I'm excited for this series, but I just think that's really, it's humbling. Well, hi there. Well, how to do? Like, who's that in the donkey sweater? That's not a donkey.
Nobody.
I saw a laugh. I think there was a laugh. I get more free coffee in the vegetable. But I don't know. I'm excited for this series. I'm excited to dive into it. I'm also challenged already, and we haven't even started, but just that thought of like, he's willing to humble himself. Am I willing to humble myself sort of thing? So, so tune in this month to the baby born in Bethlehem. 3 B's this month. How great is that? Yeah. So we're excited for that. Hope you all join us. Hope you all enjoy the Godcast. Leave us a comment below. Let us know your thoughts. We'd love to hear what you think about the series, about the Godcast. We'd honestly we'd really love to hear your feedback on the Godcast as a whole, not just this month.
Yep.
We do this every week as a resource just to challenge you guys and encourage you guys spiritually. And so if it's been a blessing or a challenge, or if you hate it, tell someone else. But if you love it and comment below, send us an email, send us a text, just let us know whether we should continue this on or not, and just what it's been. And so did you guys have anything else?
Nope.
CJ does not.
No.
Donkey girl.
I've been talking this whole time and no one heard me.
So one of the things that we want to do today is kind of take a look at the past year. It's been quite a year at the NYC. So we kind of want to just kind of recap the Northern Ohio Youth Camp and what the Lord's done. Because last year in 2020, we were out of commission with COVID. And actually it was out of COVID that the podcast was birthed. It was because of COVID that we started the podcast. But this year, really, I would say we had one of the best years of youth camp. Is that acceptable? Yeah. CJ slowly leading into a nod. One of the best years we've ever had of youth camp. The Lord really just blessed. Great things happened. And so we're grateful for that. So first thing we want to talk about is Unmovable. We will not be shaken. That was our theme this year. We did like a before podcast, and then we had the theme, and then we did an after podcast. But there's a lot of unmovable content there. So Unmovable, someone unwrap that for us.
A lot. There's a lot of stuff. Are you talking about like just like the day?
Just what is unmovable? I'm tired of talking.
You're tired of talking?
I am.
Oh,
Let's just end this.
Just done.
Jamie is never tired of talking, so she will not talk.
No, I'm going to talk. No, are you just talking about like just like what unmovable
Now, why can you say talk but not walk?
Talk.
Continue. It just occurred to me. Talk.
Walk.
Yeah. Now you're fine. What happened? Okay.
No, I guess like the whole thing was just in the craziness that was going on, how to be unmovable in our own lives, in our spiritual lives, compared to the whole world, which was completely shaken.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's the whole point of, and we wanted to get that out to these kids because these kids are the forefront. Because I know like us adults, like we've seen this coming, we've seen the things that are going on, but like kids, they have to learn in this.
Right.
Like it's not like we're adults, we already have our stuff together. They don't have their stuff together. So we wanted to present that to everybody, but to the kids mostly because they needed to know that they didn't have to be shaken in this world. Anyone else?
Good job.
CJ?
What were we talking about?
Chocolate pie.
Chocolate pie, yeah. So I think one of the things that kind of birthed Unmovable, looking back at the end of 2020, was, like Jamie said, the fact that it's possible, but then just I know even in my life, like it almost became acceptable and complacent to be movable. Like it was just like the world's crumbling and the church is closed and the government's closed and there's all these rules and regulations and restrictions. And so it was like movable's okay, or being shaken's okay, or
it's the norm.
Yeah, it's the norm. Like that's just what's supposed to happen now. But biblically, that's not the case at all. Biblically, Christians are not, you can't shake them. It's impossible. And so Unmovable, I think that's why one of the reasons we had one of the greatest years of camp this year is because I think that really resonated with so many people. Whether there's a worldwide pandemic going on or whether you have a circumstance in your own life, the truth is that you can be unmovable through that. Yeah. Bessie says unmovable in Jesus no matter our circumstance in life. Absolutely. So can you guys unwrap the four themes? Do you remember the four themes?
Oh no.
There was the master.
If CJ can list all four themes, I will be blown.
I think I got them here somewhere.
There's the message.
He's gonna cheat.
Right?
The message.
The message. The master.
The master.
This is impressive.
The motion.
Wow. Can she do 4 for 4?
Nope.
I think it was boat.
That was not it.
It was something. It had something to do. Did it have something to do with mental? Something. It did. What was it? I don't remember what the wording was.
Mindset.
Mindset.
You guys are so good at this.
They're not just pretty faces. They have. Okay, they're just pretty faces. But
CJ, we're pretty.
I don't think that word means what I think it means. So that was our fourth theme. So we talked about Monday of camp, we talked about the message and the unmovable message. And the whole point of that was that the gospel means that I am not only saved, but I'm safe if I'm in Jesus Christ. So if you remember, there was this giant fortress that was on stage, and the point was that if you were inside a concrete fortress that is 10 million miles thick of concrete, and you are completely safe from the sky falling and from an atomic bomb, you're saved because you're inside the fortress. But then if a little boy starts throwing pebbles at the side of this impenetrable fortress, most of us as Christians fall apart and freak out. And the point is that the gospel means that we're not only saved from eternal damnation in hell, but the message, the gospel, means that we're unmovable. We are safe. It means nothing can get to us. Nothing can touch us without first going through Christ's hands. And so the unmovable message, the gospel, tells us we can be immovable. Someone tell me what the unmovable master is.
That's gonna be.
She's like, I barely got a mindset.
Yeah, my mindset was gone. Yeah.
No one.
We're having a hard time.
I know you guys don't even get to come to devotion class most of the time, so
yeah,
it's been like almost a whole year.
That's not good.
That means it's almost time again.
It's almost time for camp again. So the unmovable master was all about Jesus, guys.
That's what I figured, but I figured you went more than just Jesus.
See if I could remember what it was about. The unmovable master was about the boat. Remember the boat? There was a boat. You were right. There was a boat.
We built a boat. It was a giant boat.
There was a
How
giant
do you forget
boat.
building the boat?
And so this boat. What was the point of the boat? The master of the boat. That was the point.
That would be a good lesson.
Back to me. That's a great thought for camp. We hope you guys enjoyed it. The unmovable master tells us that whenever storms come into our life, if he's the master, if he's the captain of our boat, storms aren't our problem. And I think that's really important, because some of us really like to be in control.
I don't know why you're looking at me.
And some of us really want to take the what is it a steering wheel for a boat? A captain's wheel?
Captain's
we had
wheel.
this discussion many times.
It's a captain's wheel.
Is it a captain's wheel? So we want to take the captain's wheel back, and we want to control the boat ourselves. But the truth is that we're only unmovable if Jesus is in control of the boat. If he's at the steering wheel, then the storms are his problem, the seas are his problem, the waves are his problem. And that's really what Jesus taught Peter, is not, all things are under my feet, Peter, if you will trust in me, if you will make me your master, there's nothing that can get to you. Just walk towards me. So then the unmovable motion.
It was the wave.
It was the wave. What was the point?
Was it I'm more of the prayer station end, because I remember the prayer. So it was basically that you had to be able to move fluid with the things.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean? With life, you're gonna have to, even though you're supposed to be stable, you can be stable and still have motion. Right. If that makes sense.
So pause. Favorite prayer station this year?
Ooh. Favorite to watch or
the helicopter?
Okay, let's share this story. Let's share this.
I'm gonna let Rachel share this one because it was
my mistake.
The solution is better than the problem, honestly.
We had are those foil balloons? Is that what those are considered?
Like helium foil balloon.
Yeah, so and we had helium, so I was just putting the helium in said balloon so that it would float like a real helicopter. And the
tail wouldn't
the propellers wouldn't fill with air, so I put a little bit more and it popped completely down the top, sliced in half. And so we thought that we would just
the reasonable thing to do.
We would stuff it with something. And what did we find? We found a giant bag. Why did we have a giant bag?
It's from one of those stations where they have to slide on the board.
Oh, okay. So we had a giant bag of socks. And so we shoved socks inside of this helicopter. And I wish we had a picture to show what it looked like.
I've envisioned that thing many times. So they come.
It looked better than you would imagine.
Well, they come to me and they're like, so they're dying laughing. They're typical. And they're like, we did something. I'm like, oh no. And so they go on to explain to me that we took the helicopter that we busted and filled it with socks. And I just look at them. I'm like, no, take it down.
No, listen.
Just take it down.
The fact is that we hung it up with fishing string.
Yeah, so it would be floating.
It looked like a sausage.
It had to be actually hanging in underneath the helicopter.
So we have a lumpy, frumpy, hanging
in the
helicopter balloon that the propellers still weren't blown up.
Still weren't blown up.
Oh,
we have a picture somewhere, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Did you take a picture?
We did.
Oh yes.
Oh, we had to.
So I'm sure that it was an expensive balloon too.
It probably was. And helium's not cheap.
Sorry, Amanda.
Socks. Oh yeah, Amanda brought that. That's right. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
So the last one was Unmovable Mindset. From what I've heard since camp, I think that was one of the favorite lessons. One of the favorite that's stuck with their minds. So what was that about? Obviously, you have no idea.
No.
It was Adam.
It was Adam.
He had the thingy, didn't he? The one where he came marching.
I almost called it a barracuda.
That would be memorable.
That's an animal. The bayonet.
Yes. What was the lesson?
I have no idea.
Was it taking charge?
Yeah.
Taking charge and like the pointy thing.
Bayonet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fixed bayonets. So he told the story of Joshua Chamberlain in the Civil War and how they had to have this mindset that they were unmovable and they could take that impossible hill and they could charge against the enemy because they were unmovable. And so you remember Riley was on stage with the bayonet and then the Bible. And I think that was a great way to go out of the week of camp. But I think that one really stuck with people because
it's pretty iconic.
It was. It was. Yeah. And I think that's one of those, like, we get into certain situations where, like, oh, now this one is impossible. This one. But that's the whole point. The mindset is, your mindset is, I'm unmovable. Like, I'm in this, that's what I am. And so if we live from that place, like, we won't be shaken and tossed about. Yeah. So we came out of camp and we went into our series with the Godcast. So our first series out of camp was Joy, Jesus over you. So who wants to help us with that? Rachel, why don't you help us with that?
It was just really explaining what joy really comes from. Like, it doesn't come from material things. It's not even happiness, but simply when you put Jesus before yourself, that's when you'll experience actual joy.
Yeah. Yeah. Agreed.
I can rest. I don't have to talk anymore.
And with that, I am dismissed. Jesus over you. So I think that we talk about this a lot at camp and this ministry. But I think that a lot of times we want control.
What?
I don't know why I keep looking at you. But a lot of times we think that if we're in control, if we get our way, if we do what we want, then we'll be happy.
Yeah.
If I fix this, then I'll be happy. If I get this, then I'll be happy. But the ironic thing is that we talked about this in 2018 with White Flag Faith. The ironic thing is the only way to be truly happy, the only way to find true joy is by laying down your life, by placing yourself in submission with Jesus over you. Then you ultimately have joy. And that's what Jesus said he would give us. Like, that's what he promised. That's what the fruit of the Spirit is having Jesus in control of your life. And I think a lot of times as Christians, we claim joy.
Yeah.
Like, let's be honest.
You can do joy in the church house. You can do joy when you're hanging out with people.
Let's be totally honest. Like, of all the Christians you know, how many of them are actually joyful?
That was a good discussion. Next topic.
Like, and is not a problem. It's the very thing that's supposed to mark us is missing completely.
Yeah.
And so what's the reason? Well, Jesus must not be over us, which is a problem because that's what it means to be a Christian. So that was a challenging series. So we left that series and we went into identifying the invisible. CJ, what was that about?
It's the best intro we had in the podcast.
It was a pretty sweet intro, I have to say. I liked that one.
It was a good one.
What was it about?
But what was it about?
That's a good question.
He's like, I just edit with it muted. I have no idea what you guys talk about.
Just make sure the beginning and end's good. That's
I know.
Basically, it was just about how God is always with us. So he's invisible, but he's right there with us. It's not some guy that's sitting on a throne millions and millions of miles away. He is right there, right next to you through everything. And so he sees all the things that are going on around you that you can't see. So basically that kind of...
Yeah, I think of all the themes we have this year, that's maybe been one of my more challenging ones. I mean, I'm challenged with all of our themes. I don't know if anyone else is, but I'm always challenged with them. But I think that identifying the invisible, like, that really explains the Christian life so well because the Bible tells us that God is an invisible spirit. He can't be seen. And it also tells us that without faith, it's impossible to please God. So the only way to please God, the only way to be a Christian, the only way to live the Christian life is to have faith, which is trusting in God who is invisible. And so what Jamie's telling us and what the point of the series is that you have to identify him in all things, even though he's invisible, even though you can't see him. You have to have faith that he's always there. He's not some distant deity. He's not some big guy in the sky. He's right here at all times. I just can't see him, but I believe he's here. I believe there's a fifth person at this table. I believe that when I'm driving the car, there's someone in the passenger seat. Like, he's always, always, always with me. And so it's having that faith.
And your life changes a lot when you realize that he's right there the whole time. It's not like, so the things that you do in your life are not, oh, he'll be proud of this or he's not going to like this. He already knows. It's not like he's gonna.
Right. Well, and even like, so I shouldn't do this, but no one's going to see. Well, he's there.
Yeah.
Or you know what, I can't do this. Wait, but God's there. Like by having that mindset, it really just changes everything.
You know what we always tell the kids? Because they like to run in the hallways.
Yes, I've noticed.
Yes. And so what we tell them is, even if there's no one around to see you run in the hallway, God knows you're running in the hallway.
Absolutely.
Like, and so they're always like, ooh.
That would be a fun podcast series.
Running in the hallways?
Running in the hallways. I'll have to come up with a cooler name than that. No offense.
But I thought it was ingenious.
I know you did. So that was a challenging series. So of course, after that, we wrapped up this past month the God-giving gratitude, which wrapped up last month.
I'm going to confess, when I looked at the photo for it, I didn't know what was going on.
Yeah, that was.
I'm like, is that a briefcase? And then I realized it was a turkey.
How can you confuse those two?
It would look like a briefcase. I'm like, why is that briefcase smoking?
What podcast are we talking about?
The God Gave Gratitude November.
Last month.
Oh, we skipped the fear.
Oh,
Yes, we did.
did.
You did last week,
We
too.
did. And then we had fear. We did do that.
Who's in charge here?
The one with the words in front of him.
I can't see those. Okay, CJ, what did we talk about fear? What's scary?
I don't remember.
Frightened faith.
Frightened faith.
Frightened faith.
What was that about?
Frightened
Obviously, it was important.
It's mostly just about, well, there's a lot about our worldly fears and then some of our spiritual fears as well.
Mm-hmm. And just basically how we don't have to have those things because God is right there.
Yeah.
Like we worry about it. I think was it your example with the Jews being afraid of water?
Mm-hmm.
So they were afraid of water, and that's the reason why, like, even though they were on a very tiny, remember, homes.
Yes, Bessie.
Homes.
There are 5 Great Lakes.
There are 5 Great Lakes. But basically that they had an irrational fear of something, even though God was going to take care of them, and it wasn't that big of a deal, but in their eyes, it was just huge.
Right.
It was about God being bigger than our fears.
Yeah.
Remember the
And
Tom example and...
Yes,
Yeah.
I still like that
The Tom.
visual.
Yes.
Your dad is the Incredible Hulk killing a spider.
Yes.
Or the spider grabbing... Which was it?
He broke
the spider grabbing.
He broke a
Tom.
thing.
Why?
I
Tom
didn't
was
know.
supposed to be bigger than the spider.
Oh, that's embarrassing.
Wow.
I think it's kind of like the Unmovable series because I think a lot of times we convince ourselves fear is totally normal and acceptable. Like I think we, whether it's fear of COVID or fear of the economy or fear of a loved one dying or fear of your health or fear. I think a lot of times we convince ourselves, oh, it's okay to be afraid here. It's okay to be worried here. And the fact is that the definition of faith means you are not afraid. The definition of being a Christian is that you've placed your trust, your belief in God who's got this.
Yeah.
And so there's no such thing as having frightened faith. And so with the lesson Jamie's talking about, I don't remember what the title was of that.
Seeing.
It was
Oh,
seeing.
yeah.
It was
Seeing.
seeing.
It was.
Seeing-
That's impressive.
Seeing.
Savior?
Seeing.
I don't know.
Because it was seeing like
Seeing-
Seeing, but it was seeing.
Seeing scared straight. I don't know. I think it was seeing.
Seeing straight.
I think it was
Yeah,
seeing straight. Yeah, maybe.
CJ's cheating. So let's see what it was.
Was it seeing straight?
I hate that it does that.
I'm just taking.
What was this in?
This is October.
Frightened faith.
Seeing straight.
Seeing
Yes,
straight.
Number 49. Look at us. We can
Not that.
remember what we talk about.
Sometimes.
Whether you believe that or
I
not.
don't really call that remembering.
What do you call
I
that?
guessed it before you found it. But seeing straight was all about the Jewish people had an irrational fear of water because of the book of Genesis.
Mm-hmm.
And so even though they were on this itty bitty, ridiculously small little lake
Mm-hmm.
that was pathetically small and not worth being afraid of,
Mm-hmm.
they thought it was okay to be fearful because all Jews were afraid. Like there was this irrational component to their fear. And truth is with all of us, there's this irrational component to our fear. The things we're afraid of, the things we worry about, it's irrational.
It's irrational, but it's also
Seems real.
it feels the normal.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. So were there any others I'm forgetting about? We didn't really talk about
No.
God-given gratitude, but
I
we
mean,
did that.
good.
we just
that.
did that. It was like
Yeah.
it's fresh.
It's fresh.
Like a
it's fresh.
Ziploc baggie. Fresh, like a Ziploc baggie.
I thought you said fresh like a black baggie. I'm like, that doesn't sound very fresh.
Fresh.
It's got mold
Like a
and fuzzy things.
Ziploc
It's fresh
baggie.
though. So we're not well, I feel like we're losing folks. Is there anyone out there still? I mean, it shows you're still tuning in, but no one's
We're here.
talking with us. We're feeling lonely.
They're worried. They're worried for our
They're
health.
worried. Yeah, you should be.
They're calling people right now.
So what's your guys' favorite thing that we were actually talking about this while we were setting up today? Rachel and Jamie were like, I think Rachel said to Jamie, or one of the, I don't really know them apart, but one of them said to the other that, did you ever, like, what crazy universe is this that, like, did you ever think that us two would be doing a podcast?
Oh yeah, no, never.
Hi, Jakey.
Hi, Jacob.
Did you call him Jakey?
That was weird.
That tasted horrible on my tongue.
Everybody's really concerned now.
I know. Yeah, because they don't see Jacob.
Because he's on YouTube.
People are talking. We don't have any comments. We read all the comments. Maybe they're not coming through.
That would be disappointing.
It is disappointing. Yeah, we don't see.
Yeah, the last comment we have is
Bessie's
Bessie's.
the last one, and that was like a whole long time ago.
20 minutes ago.
So it's just ironic. None of the four of us thought we'd be involved in a podcast.
Yeah.
But I gotta say, for myself, it's been a fun journey. It's been a fun thing to do.
A lot of laughs.
I think in a lot of ways, it keeps, at least for me, it keeps me on my toes. Because for one, you always have to be like studying and looking and staying invested. But then two, just I'm always challenged by whatever we bring. Typically, whenever the girls don't invite me onto their podcast, but whenever they have their episode, I watch it the following morning, so on Monday morning, and I'm always challenged. Usually I watch it, listen to it on the way to work while I'm driving. But I'm always challenged by it, and so, I don't know, it's been fun. So what's your guys' favorite part of the podcast? Like, what have you not expected? What's been, just unwrap that a little bit.
Well, it makes you invest a little bit more into you read the Bible, and when you read it, like for me especially, like it's a little bit harder for me if I don't apply it. Like I'll read it and I'll know the story, but how do I apply that to my life? This kind of makes you have to apply it to your life. So like you read the story and then you get a life application, then you have to teach it to someone else. Right. So you really have to get it, because if you can't teach it to someone else, you know what I mean?
Hypocrite.
Yeah, basically.
What was the question?
Now she's thinking about chocolate.
She took too long. It just took forever.
Jamie rambled for so long.
She's like,
I was like, what was the question? What did she answer?
She's trying to pick up the question.
Face about. We were talking about just the podcast. Like, what did you not expect? What's been surprising? What do you enjoy? What do you look forward to? What do you hate? Just talk about the podcast a little bit.
I hate writing them.
Yeah. Well, I'm not very good at that. That's the thing.
Like I am the worst at getting my thoughts on paper or just talking them in general, which I'm having a hard time with right now. But I know it's really fun to come in here and do that. Like I always dread it at first, especially when it's my week. Like I don't like to be the one talking.
I don't mind being talking. I don't mind talking.
I'll sit with you guys as long as you want, but I don't
you don't say anything when you sit with us.
It's very easy for me. But it is fun. I do enjoy it, and it is a challenge because then not only do we have to teach ourselves, but then if anyone actually listens to them, they can hold us accountable.
What an optimist you are. But listen, if you don't listen, we don't have to live it. Then
right, then there's no one to hold us accountable if you're not listening.
We're counting on you guys.
So CJ, take us through start to finish. Now you can't miss the first step.
Oh no.
Start to finish, what goes into each episode of the podcast. The first step's important.
The first step is basically ignoring anything Josh says. I have to deal with these three pretty much every week. It's very hard to deal with these people. They're very I can't remember who it said, but they're very distractible.
Oh.
So
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. It's very difficult. Basically, I have to come in here after. Well, I have to tear down the room, and then.
I mean. Because it's a Sunday school room.
Yeah. Well, the room stays. It's the table. You take the table down.
Take the table down. Put the chairs away.
We demo every Sunday.
Set the camera up, set the microphones up, go back, and then make sure everything's ready for them. And then after that, I hit record, and after they're done, basically just edit and throw it up on the website.
So a few more steps.
Yeah.
So the first step is very important. The first step is he comes and gets the room set up. Mm-hmm. But then we come and we sit down, and we are ridiculous for like a good 20 minutes. And then he asks us about 400 times, Are you ready? Are you done? As he stares at us judgmentally. And then we start recording. But before we
have to wait
record,
10 seconds.
we have to take our watches off and take our phones off. And then he says, I'll text you. But none of us have a way of being texted.
Yeah, hopefully that won't be a problem anymore.
So then we have to decide. So we listen for the ankles popping coming down the hallway.
Mm-hmm. Not anymore.
Yeah, his ankles don't crack anymore.
They're magically fixed for some reason.
We don't know why.
That's sad. How are we going to know you're coming?
We don't. He scares me all the time.
You can hear me huffing as I hear you guys laughing in the background.
Oh, no.
Well, he called you out, and then he didn't mean to. He called me out.
Oh.
Dealing with these must be a nightmare, especially the lady at the furthest left. What is left?
Well, I'm technically left, but to him, I'm not.
That's what they're saying?
He said he changed his right.
Yeah, I know.
So you're on the right.
He's getting all of us on all ends.
Well, not the middle. And then CJ takes it and he records the whole thing, and then he edits the whole thing. And
I do have to listen to the whole thing.
Yeah,
basically,
because we're weird.
Maybe a few times. have to go back and edit it and listen to it again.
CJ is a blessing. We're grateful he is forcefully on board. And reluctantly, we've been trying to get him to come on the podcast for a year. And he reluctantly said, if I can wear headphones, I will be here. And here he is in his
Thinking
glory.
of chocolate pie.
Thinking of chocolate pie. And
so, CJ, how does that feel to be able to hear yourself in your own headphones?
Well, I can hear myself, but I'm the only one that's not distorted every once in a while.
It's because
what does that mean?
He's not calling us
you
loud.
guys are loud.
That's what I thought that meant.
Yeah.
Or are we just too close to the microphone?
Or you're just like this, and then you're like this.
It's me.
CJ.
You can just at me if you want.
At you.
I'll send you a snail mail message.
Snail mail.
Mm-hmm.
Please stop
Across the table.
Carrier pigeon. What's that bird doing in here?
Well,
you just said woof.
Woof. Guys, this is what the podcast is coming to.
Honestly, I don't know why we spend 20 minutes being ridiculous, because we spend another 20 minutes being ridiculous on the podcast.
Yeah. On camera.
Yeah.
On camera, yeah. So you guys really look at half the episode, is what she's telling you.
We should have like a pre-show.
Oh, no. No. It's bad. It's really, really bad.
So, not to give too much away, but I am so excited for 2022 of the NOYC. We have some really, really big and exciting things coming for next year. God has really been working overtime with some direction and some big things that are ahead. We don't really want to give too much away. We do have the theme figured out for 2022, which I think is a record.
Yeah, because
yeah,
because January I think was the last.
It was like we normally like January is like we're doing good.
Yeah,
and like we got it
like
a few
last
months.
month,
Yeah,
October.
a few months early.
Yeah.
So that's super exciting. Spoiler alert: this is what these are. These
are like all.
He's talking about you people. He's dissing you people again.
Yeah.
I think he's talking about.
How do you block people, CJ? I don't, hypothetically.
How would you block someone?
I don't know.
You don't have to really.
Aren't you supposed to be working?
And he says, "Aren't you supposed to be podcasting?"
This is what I'm doing.
So next year, we're not gonna quite reveal the theme just yet, because we've not nearly got.
What if we change it?
Yeah, well, there's that. But I promise.
Commitment issues.
Yeah, what?
Commitment issues.
Yeah, we do.
That's true. But I do promise you that this year's camp is going to be one you will not want to miss. So make sure to mark your calendars for the NYC 2022, June 12th through the 17th in Warsaw, Ohio. It's really going to be a year you will not want to miss. We promise you it's going to be great. But beyond the greatest week of the year, we're also really excited to announce that the NYC has our very first standalone devotional on its way of spring of next year. There have been several who have been volunteering over the past several months and a writing team assembling. And this devotion book, this series, is going to be available for individuals and youth groups. And what I love about it, I really love this, the devotion book is going to come out in the spring. And if you go through it, it's actually going to pair perfectly and lead you up to the theme of camp. So it really is like you get this like prelude, this introduction before you get to camp. And so it's going to be a great resource. I promise you, it will challenge you spiritually. It will encourage you. And that's our heart's desire for this ministry, is just to really do that. And so we're really excited about that. We pray that this book will be a resource that you will go to for yourself, for your youth group, for your church. And so stay tuned for more info from the NYC as the book is on its way. So on top of all of that, the Lord has laid 2 brand new events on our hearts for next year. We're still working out the details, and we do have commitment issues.
Yeah, I was gonna say, are you about to say something? I was getting nervous.
Cut it, CJ, cut it.
So hopefully we will officially announce those very soon. We are waiting on a few T's to be crossed and I's to be dotted. But I do promise that both of these events will be spiritually challenging. They will be beneficial. They will be different than anything else we've ever hosted. Just really, really excited about these. I think they're going to be a great blessing. So make sure to stay tuned for that. All of the gentlemen in the room.
Hey.
Woof. Those of you who are going to the Ohio Freewall Baptist Men's Retreat, we will be there with a table once again this year. We're grateful for the opportunity.
Rachel and I will not be there.
You've wore mustaches before.
We have.
They stay on well, right, Rachel?
Yeah.
And beards when we did the men's ministry or the men's conference.
I was thinking about the escape room.
Yeah, that's what I assumed you were talking about.
So make sure to check out the table there. We're excited to be a part of that. And so that'll be January of 2022. Well, any last thoughts, final remarks, big surprises?
No.
Nope.
Riddles? Jokes?
Where
Nope.
does the general
Oh
keep his
my
armies?
goodness.
In
Little
his
Caesars.
sleeveys.
She has like 3 jokes and I got the wrong punchline.
I got the wrong one. Little Caesar.
It seemed
He goes to
applicable.
Little Caesars where he keeps his arms.
At Little Caesars, isn't that where you keep your arms?
Best joke.
Fine. Woof. So, guys, thanks so much for joining us, and we truly miss each and every one of you guys. We pray that you have a very Merry Christmas, and make sure to tune in each week for the NYC Godcast on every major podcast platform and social media. So, guys, yes, Jacob, it's not. So I feel like it would be a treat for all of our viewers at home,
Okay.
Oh no.
and I think it would be fun
Oh, no.
for me
Okay.
I'm feeling uncomfortable.
if we blew up a helium air helicopter.
Oh, I've done that before.
Yeah,
It sucks.
I am rehearsed
Goes
in
well.
that.
If we sang a song
I was afraid of
that.
to
Sing.
end it, I don't know, something ridiculous.
Mm.
Do you guys know John Jacob Jingleheimer?
Like Christmas shit.
Oh.
Christmas. Can you make John Jingleheimer Smith into a Christmas song?
John.
It's got to add sleigh bells in
Santa
it.
John Sleigh Bell Ringers.
Okay, CJ, what should we sing?
We should.
Oh, come on. Do you want us
I
to
thought that
sing,
said
guys?
hula hoop at first.
I still want a hula hoop. We can da 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 da. Please, Christmas, don't be late. So that means them two have to sing.
Oh,
Now
no,
you have
see
to
what
sing.
you did? You
This
did
will be
this.
fun. All
I
right,
don't
duet
have
time.
to. I got the mouse here.
I got the my.
I have the my.
No.
Rach.
I don't do
Feliz
solos.
Navidad.
We can all do that one. Let's do it all together.
All together.
Let's walk together to.
Audio.
Marriage.
It's audio. Yeah. Are we
gonna sing
doing?
Feliz Navidad, or we wish you a Merry Christmas? Would that be officially an ender?
I think it's a good one.
Are you
Either
gonna- Are you going to lead?
No.
Oh, come on.
You're the singer.
You're the one singer here.
No, you all 4 have sang.
Just because
That's
you
a
have
long
sang doesn't mean you can sing.
Yeah. There's a difference between being able to and should.
But then I don't qualify either way.
All right. Go ahead.
And still that leaves us with.
CJ can lead.
No, that's
And we can do. Okay,
Oh, no.
let's do. Since no one wants to participate, let's do one word at a
Okay.
time.
Oh, I'm sure that'd be fun.
I'm
Oh no,
sure
I'm gonna have to
will.
remember
I
words.
know. I don't
We-
think
Wish
you.
A
Mary.
Christmas.
We.
wish you
Hey,
Mary.
Christmas.
sing it.
We.
Christmas.
Wish
You.
Mary.
Christmas.
And
Happy.
It was me.
Oh, you be happy.
Happy.
New.
year.
Good.
Good.
Oh, we're doing the whole song?
Tidings.
We
Bring
Two.
You.
and
your
King. Good. Is it good? Tidings
Again?
for Christmas.
Good.
And a Happy New Year.
do you want to lead?
It's a solo.
No,
It's
no,
good. I
All
like it.
together, we wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Good tidings we bring to you and your kin. Good tidings. We're dropping views. Happy New Year. From the NYC Godcast, Merry Christmas, everyone.